Okay, let's look at a 9.4 real-world example. I'm getting this from the 9.4 exercises. We're going to go all the way down here and look at number 23. So in number 23, it says the area of a patio is 216 square feet. First, we're going to write an equation that represents the area of the patio, and then for part B, we're going to find the dimensions of the patio by completing the square. So we see that the shorter side here is x, and the longer side here is x plus 6. Okay, our first step is let's write our equation. So for part A, remember that our area is equal to length times width. So we have our, doesn't matter which one you say is length and width. Let's call this side the length and this side the width. It doesn't really matter. So we're going to say that x times x plus 6 is equal to our area, which is 216. Let's simplify this. We're going to distribute the x into here and have a simplified equation. We get x squared plus 6x equals 216, and this is the answer for part A. That's all they want us to do. This is our equation that represents the area of the patio. Now we're going to go on to part B. For part B, we're going to solve for x by completing the square. So our next step is now we're going to find the c. We're going to add the c after the 6x over here and after this 216 over here. Let's use our formula for c. Remember, c is equal to b over 2 squared. Our b in this equation is this 6 right over here. So let's plug 6 into the formula. We're going to have 6 over 2 squared. Let's divide first to get 3 squared, which equals 9. So now let's add the 9 to both sides of the equation. We get x squared plus 6x plus 9 is equal to 216 plus 9. Okay, we're going to solve now. Our next step is we're going to factor this perfect square trinomial that I just created. So we're going to set up 1 parenthesis squared, take the square root of the first term, take the symbol from the middle, the square root of the last term. I get x plus 3, the quantity squared, is equal, let's add these two numbers together, 216 plus 9, that's 225. Okay, our next step is we're going to solve for x, so we're going to take the square root of both sides so I can cancel out the square. Now I am left with x plus 3 is equal to, let's take the square root of 225, and we should know that 225 is a perfect square, so the square root is 15. In this case, we normally would do positive and negative 15, but because we can't have a negative side length, it only makes sense to talk about positive 15. So I'm only going to use positive 15. Let's solve for x, so minus 3 from both sides, and I get x equals 12 feet. That's one of our dimensions. We can call this the length. It doesn't matter which side you said is which. Let's find the other dimension, which is our other side. We said our width was this x plus 6. So let's plug our 12 into this expression. We're going to have 12 plus 6, which means that our width here is going to be 18 feet. 18 feet. And there we go. We just found the dimensions of our patio. Really quick and nice, easy way to check this answer is now that I know the length and the width, let's compare it to the area that they gave us in the beginning of the question. If the area is supposed to equal 216, let's multiply these two numbers together. So in my calculator here, 12 times 18, oh, my calculator just died. It does equal 216. So I know that I got this answer correct.